Hey, Freak Leaks, guess who's back? We have another guest co-host with us by the name of Chef Terry. He's not only a chef, he's also a relationship coach, and he's an advocate for diabetic health. And we're about to show him what Freak Leaks is all about.
So welcome to the show once again. Thank you for being here. Hey, Freak Leaks.
Hey, everybody.
It's your favorite girls. And today we are going to be talking about food and sex after 40. So we're going to dive right into our first topic. My sex drive is French fried. How fried foods, processed foods, and even alcohol are killing your libido fast. So we kind of sort of touched on this, but not like really in one of our previous episodes. But we were thinking about like how, everybody, on this panel, I'm assuming is 40 and above, correct? Like Chef Terry, it's safe to say you're 40 or over.
Yeah, I'm grown.
Okay, good. Okay, so health has been an issue, and we know enough about diet to know that it absolutely affects, how you can get down in the bedroom or your performance or, whatever. So can you just kind of elaborate, and kind of give us, the tea on what foods we need to be avoiding at this point in our lives to save our sex lives from going downhill?
Well, here's what's funny. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I watched the YouTube video, and when I saw you guys, I was like, yeah, that's my tribe right there. That's my tribe.
Welcome.
I thought you was betting.
Well, even my wife said it. She was like, I think you're going to like those girls. I was like, I agree with you. Well, here's what's funny is, I'm looking at past 40 through a different lens because my past 40 is diabetic past 40.
Okay.
You see, I'm diabetic, and I say I'm diabetic the same way that like an alcoholic would say I'm an alcoholic, even if they haven't had a drink in 20 years.
Okay.
So I say I'm a diabetic because I understand that it's a work in progress. It's a daily choice to get better. And one of the things that I've noticed is there are certain foods out there. Everything affects our little soldier, our libido, our little throwdown machine, the fuck stick, whatever you want to call it. That's right there. It's all boils down to what we're eating. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to what we're eating. And then there are certain foods that we didn't even realize that we was eating that could help blood flow, because it's all about blood flow and circulation in the body. Especially if you're trying to get your little soldier to work. And, there's a nitrate oxide, right? Oxide is already in the body, but we got to figure out how to get nitrate in our system. Nitrate helps the blood flow. It's almost like if you had a clogged sink, and what you'd go through and plunge it or put some Drano in it, whatever it takes to unclog it, that's what we have to add to our body. And you can get it from just about anything. Like you can get it from the number one food, according to the American Diabetes Association, is beets. Beets actually help thin out blood clots so that your blood can circulate better, which means that, it's on and popping now.
Beet juice is about to be sold out of the stores. Hey, I eat a lot of beets, and I ain't never had any trouble with blood flow to my little soldier.
Well, see, there you go. And what you need to do is tell your soon-to-be that he needs to start eating beets too, because when it's going down in the I'm telling you, you ain't gonna know what happened. You're gonna be 20 years old all over again. Kelly. Also,
I might have to hit up Kroger after the show.
Right?
Right?
Have it on deck.
Well, also, you can get watermelon. You can get pomegranate. There's leafy green vegetables, garlic, turmeric. walnuts, citrus fruits like like oranges, grapefruit, or lemons or limes. They also aid, and you can also mix them in with anything. And a lot of times when I go out to eat, especially back in the day when I used to date, I would always get lemon water because I knew back then that you didn't have to eat oysters to get into this whole natural aphrodisiac thing. I figured out early on that lemon water helps your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I never knew that.
I did not know that.
So when we go out and people are like, hey, would you like a soda? Would you like a drink? I'm like, no. Sugar helps slow down your libido.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Sugar helps clog the blood flow. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm eating or whatever I'm putting in my body is not going to stop the blood flow. Because I got a reputation to uphold. You know what I'm saying?
How you expect different dates at the actual date? That's hilarious.
Right. Shoot, I'm taking beet smoothies to my dates from here on out.
I tell you, don't be surprised if you're hanging from the chandelier later on.
That's the goal, Chef Terry. That's the goal.
Hold on, though, because what I'm also hearing with all of this, these are a lot of the same like vegetables and things that they recommend for like reducing blood pressure too, right?
Oh yeah. The blood flow and circulation. This is what a lot of nutritionists and diabetics would offer people that has high blood pressure. Because, high blood pressure and diabetes, they run in the same circle. You know what I'm saying? Like high blood pressure, diabetes, little cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And then hypertension is right behind them. Dragging their little toy, talking about, Daddy, I want to go too.
Wowzers. Wow. Okay. Well, I personally do have high blood pressure. I finally let them put me on medication. I don't want to take it anymore. I'm going to be honest. It's not that it like makes me feel bad or anything, but it doesn't sit right with me that I'm taking that every day. Like,
Right.
I don't know. So I'm especially paying attention to this episode because I want the F off of it quickly.
And see, we've already kind of been through this with my husband because he was a diabetic and he was taking medicine for high blood pressure. I started becoming a vegan 2 years ago, and then he started moving into it probably about beginning in November. And since then, he's off of his blood pressure medicine and he's off of his diabetes medicine.
Awesome.
That's crazy how that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since the beginning of November, we're talking a little over 4 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, here's what's funny. It took your husband 4 months to figure that out. It took me 12 years and almost $20,000 to figure that out.
Ouch.
Wow.
Because as a chef, we used to believe all that crap. Don't trust a skinny chef. We used to hear stuff like that. We used to hear stuff like, you need to try everything that you prepare so that you know what it tastes like. At that one point in time, I was like almost 300 pounds. I thought I was happy. Right?
Wow.
I was 300 pounds. I was running around, smiling, laughing, joking, and all that. Didn't know what was lurking underneath it. And the crazy part about it is it didn't start to really develop or manifest until around the age of 40.
Yeah.
When everything started slowing down. I used to have this saying, it was like, Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40.
That's what my mother-in-law says, Lordy, Lordy, I need a 40, but she don't drink she don't drink beer now, so that's crazy.
Now, I am a few months shy of being 59 years young.
Congratulations.
And I'm telling you, when I started becoming vegan, my sex drive went through the roof. Through the roof.
Ooh.
And I'm not taking anything.
See, I can see that happy lit look on your face.
You're glowing, girl. You're glowing.
This is because I know that outdoor wooden table sex season's coming up.
Yes.
Did you see the episode where she was talking about she did it on the table in front of the campers?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, because we were all in the episode. I'm asking, did you see that episode where she was talking about how she, they did it on the table in the campground and there was other people camping?
No, I didn't see that one. But the one that I did see, that was something that I didn't know. Like, I never knew what the pearl necklace was.
See, I'm not the only one. Y'all trying to play me. I'm not the only one.
Oh my gosh.
I told my wife, I'm gonna get you a pearl necklace. She was all excited. She was all excited when she realized what it really was.
When she realized.
Now listen here, Chef Terry, don't be getting us in trouble before you had a chance to be friends with your wife, okay?
Right.
Don't be getting us in trouble.
The great part about it is I got somebody to blame it on.
Oh, that is so funny. Okay, so I have a question before we move on to the next topic. There's doctors are so quick to give out the ED medicine, right? And like all of that stuff. So what you're saying is you can literally just change your diet and eat your way into being able to get past sexual dysfunction without that medication.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what's funny is out of the top 5 main complications of diabetes, erectile dysfunction is not even on it.
Wow.
Here's what's funny.
What?
That's the crazy part. And the reason why is that it's still really taboo for men to talk about it.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was thinking.
Right? And women too. The majority of the time that when you go into the hospital, go and see the doctor, especially those of us that used to play back in the day, when we first went to the doctor, because a lot of us go to the doctors late, we think that they're going to grab our balls, we turn our head and cough.
Right.
That's what we think it's going to be. And then they tell us we good and we can leave. But when they start asking questions and then probing, we automatically put our defenses up and we lock down. It was like, okay, yeah, well, I don't want you to know this because I think you're going to judge me. And I don't want you to do this. But let me tell you, I actually researched some stuff for this in case this came up. Can I read this to you?
Please, go ahead.
Yes.
Impotence, commonly known as erectile dysfunction, may not only affect you, but it also may affect your relationship that you have with your wife, your girlfriend, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Erectile dysfunction has a strong connection to heart disease. So what is erectile dysfunction? According to cleveland.clinic.org, erectile dysfunction is the inability to achieve and sustain an erection long enough for sexual intercourse. And for those of those millennials, that means beating it up. And I was shocked. Shocked after I read that 57% of men who has had bypass surgery and 60% of men that was hospitalized for a heart attack has had erectile dysfunction at some point in their life.
Wow.
And the crazy part about it is it's still taboo to talk about.
It is. I had a whole relationship end because of it.
You had a relationship because of it?
Yeah. I had an ex, he was taking depression medication and it affected his libido. And he got mad at me because I wasn't being, I guess, aggressive or assertive in trying to get him in the mood. And I'm like, I'm trying to be sensitive to what's going on with you. And yeah, so I got blamed for our sex life not being what he thought it should be. But I'm like, you have problems not only getting up, but staying up because of your medication. Like, I'm even the one who suggested he go back to the doctor, talk about switching medication. He did all that, but before that could have taken effect, we broke up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bullet there, but
oh yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm more than certain I did.
But here's 2 things that I want to say. First, did you know that there was 200 different types of doctor prescribed medication that actually increases erectile dysfunction. 200 different types of medication.
No.
Ain't that crazy?
Yes.
So it's not just metformin or the glamoride or benazepril. It's other stuff that we don't even know, but there's more than 200 types that help with erectile dysfunction. That's one. Number two, here's what's funny is, out of all the things that the doctor told me, right? When he told me I was diabetic, he told me what my A1C number was, and he said you could be an amputee, you could go blind, retinopathy, you could have nerve damage, diabetic nerve damage, you could have all of this kidney disease or be on dialysis. And then he said one thing that caught my attention. He said it also causes impotence or erectile dysfunction. I was laying in my hospital robe and I sat up and said, "What did you just say?" And that was when I started taking it serious.
Yeah.
And here's what's funny. When I thought that my little python was gonna stop slithering, right? When I thought that, I honestly, truly said to myself, and I don't want to offend anybody. I called a couple of my buddies that I know, these are white guys, called a couple of my buddies, and they both told me the exact same thing. They said, "You're going to have to learn how to eat pussy." And I mean, well.
That was good advice.
I mean, well.
That was good advice. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're not going to eat the good stuff, you're going to have to eat the other good stuff. That's what he's trying to say. So you pick a team. I say pick both. I mean, you're never going to tell you to not eat.
Hey, God made you. And I always tell people, don't eat what's man-made. Eat what's God's made.
Come on.
Gotta praise them up in here.
Come on.
All right. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on to this next topic because I know we actually kind of already started. But anyway, just to introduce it. Okay, so a sexual diet for diabetes, how to eat your way back to a healthy state of mind, body, and sexual greatness. And since we already kind of started in on that, what would be your list of foods? Are there any foods outside of the ones that you've already mentioned that they should definitely start with, that we should definitely start with?
Okay. And we're talking about erectile dysfunction, but
just libido in general, I think.
Let's talk about erectile dysfunction, but let's talk about how it also affects women, because you don't really hear that a lot. I mean, we had a conversation about whiskey pussy, but I mean,
come on, Chef Terry, you got to hook us up for on them slow days. we need a jump start.
Here's what's funny. Cardiovascular disease, also known as, heart disease, also known as cardiovascular disease, is the number one killer in the United States.
Okay.
And women are leading that number. Here's the crazy part. Majority of the time, women will end up getting dry vagina or desert coochie.
Yeah.
And
got that dab.
Right?
That dab.
And so
I've never heard of desert pussy.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be. See, there's so many things with women that they will turn around and think that it's something that they're doing. It's their fault. It's like, no, if there's something going on inside your body that you don't know, you have to first learn how to get in touch with that little child or that little girl, that little boy inside. And one of the things that we used to do when we was younger is that we used to play a lot. Now it's called exercises.
Right.
Right. So we got to get back into that childlike thing. And we have to cut back on the amount of foods that we're eating that is blocking blood circulation. I heard Tony Robbins say that if it's white, don't eat it.
Mm.
If it's
Now,
white,
wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute, Chef Terry.
let me stop you.
He
I ain't
meant the
talking about white
food.
girls.
Right. He meant the food.
I ain't talking about white girls.
Lord, don't make my heart skip like that.
No, I'm not trying to scare away your anybody. No, but seriously, I'm talking about pasta, rice, potatoes, white potatoes, different types of starches that actually turns into carbs when it breaks down into your body, that also turns into sugar. I'm talking about all of these things. See, this is one of the things that I tell majority of my clients all the time. If we're going to work, very first thing that we have to do is that I have to first put you on a routine. And then after we get on the routine, then we'll get into what the real part of this lowering your A1C, getting healthier, building better blood flow in the body. There's a routine that we have to go through in order to get there, because if we don't, what's going to end up happening is same thing is going to keep happening over and over and over again. And like the young lady said earlier, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but she said she doesn't like taking the high blood pressure medicine. Mm-hmm. And the great part about it is we don't know how the side effects is going to affect us 5, 10, 15 years from now. We've already seen some of the stuff that it can do. It helps clogged arteries. You know, it might fix the blood pressure, but it will affect hypertension. It will affect diabetes. It will affect other areas because we're only targeting one area.
Right.
What I tell my clients is we have to attack the entire body. We have to do a full body detox. We have to do a full body cleanse. And one of the main things that we tell people to stay away from when we're cleansing, and this will hurt a lot of people and it makes them super nervous, is red meat.
Mm.
You got to stay away from red meat because of the trans fat, because of the saturated fat that's inside of beef, that's inside of red meat, is what we're trying to get away from. And so I always say better health leads to better sex, and better sex leads to better health.
Mm.
I don't know if that made any sense or not.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Yeah. If you're 40 and up, that makes all the sense in the world. It's, I don't know. It just seems like things just started getting so much clearer. Like, and I've been going through, just really listening to my body and trying to figure out what is it that you need so that we can do what we do. And yeah, man, I keep getting, you got to get rid of the red meat. And I'm like, but I love steak so much, right? But like I've been having a lot of issues like with my colon, like over the past couple of years. Just last year I had a really bad diverticulitis episode, really bad. Like I was down for like a month. Like you can ask the ladies, like we kind of had to pause taping because I just wasn't feeling well. Like it was really bad. And then the medication that they gave me jacked me up even more. So it was like, from that point on, I was like, okay, we got to start making some changes. So I cut back on it. I don't have it like every day, but I mean, I still do have like hamburger and steak more than I probably should. So like, I just keep getting, it just keeps coming back to me like, you got to cut it out. And I'm like, I know, I do. So for somebody like me, and I'm pretty sure you deal with people who say that a lot, like what substitute suggestions do you have to make that transition easier?
Okay, well, thank you for that question. That's a really great question. Let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Do you have a problem with soy?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm asking that is there are 2 different meats that are floating around out there. Now, my personal favorite, it's called the impossible meat.
Okay.
Right? You can get it from Costco. I think they even have it at Kroger's now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called the Impossible Meat. Now, the reason why I said that first is because the Impossible Meat is what you're going to get that is so close to actual
It's very
hamburger meat that
Okay.
you will believe that you will believe that they're lying to you. I mean, it
So-
literally tastes like meat.
What
Yeah.
is
And then-
it then? What is
Then
it
there's
made of?
also- I'm sorry?
What is it made of?
The main ingredient is soy.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's why I started out, are you allergic to soy or anything like that? Because for some people that don't eat soy, there's another hamburger meat out there that's called Beyond Meat that's made strictly from a whole bunch of different vegetables and charcoal ash.
Okay.
And the cool part about it is you won't really miss meat if you start with the Impossible Meat.
Okay.
Because it tastes so much like the real thing that you won't even notice it.
Yeah, there's
I'm with Fee. I like my red meat. But I've actually used the Beyond crumbles and used it to make spaghetti. You wouldn't have known the difference.
Okay.
Right?
You wouldn't have known
Right.
any different. And I've actually had a Beyond burger and an Impossible burger. There's a restaurant downtown, Walrus, that has the Impossible burger. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
one up here in Westerville called, there's a burger place here in Westerville and they make an Impossible burger. And oh my gosh, like everything is vegan, the bun, the cheese, and you would never know it.
Okay.
But there's also a meat substitute called seitan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's recipes where you can make it taste and look and fry it up, and it's just like steak.
I've had seitan oxtails, and they were delicious.
Yeah, there's this thing called Boca burgers. Like if I'm ever craving steak, and if they have the Boca burger, then I'll get a Boca burger because it kind of tastes like steak. Even though it's ground like beef, it tastes like steak. Well, just so you know, there's 3 people telling you the same story.
I know, right?
You ever see The Color Purple?
Yes.
God is trying to tell you something. Right now.
I received that. Okay.
But you know what? I'm starting to think red meat is like they put something in it to keep you addicted, because out of everything that I quit eating when I became vegan, steak is the one thing I continue to crave.
Yeah, those are all the hormones that they put inside of meat. I mean, it's the exact same formula, different ingredients, but it's the same formula that they use to make tobacco. They put inside of animals, especially beef.
So what kind of foods can we eat to increase both gender libidos?
Yeah.
Well, just kind of keep in mind that it's mainly about cutting back on carbs, cutting back on sugar, cutting back on salt, cutting back on red meat. And it's really mainly about portion control.
Okay.
It's all about portion control. And I tell people all the time, I tell my clients this all the time. Eat a portion, eat a small portion, whatever meat size you eat, it should be about the size of your fist, right? And the rest of the plate should be vegetables. That right there is going to help clean out your blood flow right there before you even try the beets or the watermelon and all this other stuff. Because the idea is to use food as energy, not food as for comfort. And that's for men and women.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It's only hard when you say it's hard.
Yes.
So now this is what the program, I know you had sent me, I looked, okay, take 2, action fee. Okay, I looked at the link from your form that had the outline of your program on it. Can you tell us a little more about that to highlight your program?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My program is about I went through this program. There's a 30-day program, there's a 60-day program, a 90-day program, and a 6-month program. And how the program works is I've spent many years and many dollars on doctors telling me what to eat, where doctors are telling me how to exercise, doctors telling me all the things I need to do to stop or to lower my blood pressure, to lower my blood sugar, to increase my libido. And so one day we had a conversation and I was just talking to the doctor, you know, trying to be friendly. And one of the things that he was telling me about all the stuff he was eating and when he go out and party and all the drinks. And I started thinking to myself, how are you going to teach me to eat right when you're not eating right? Right. And so I was like, okay. So several $1,000s later, when I quit, I came up with my own system. I came up with my own program and I decided to charge way less than what this guy was charging. Mm-hmm. And this is how it works. You get on a routine. This is what our routine is. We're going to cut out all the things that have been tested and found true that don't work for you. And then we increase all the things that we know that has been tested and found true that will work for you and help give your body life. And so basically, we're taking death out of your body and we're blowing life into your body. And that's the first step. The second step is we go through a detox because we got to clean your body. We got to clean your mind, your blood, your liver, your kidney, your spleen, your heart, your hair follicles, your eyes. We have to cleanse every part of that. And then we get into your routine. This is what your workout routine is going to be like. And it's so simple and it's so gradual and progressive that it's not complicated and you don't feel like that you're depriving yourself of anything, because just like the illnesses or sicknesses that we have didn't take 2 or 3 weeks to get, right. It's not going to take 2 or 3 weeks to get rid of.
Right.
You know, so I always tell my clients, if you give me 1 week, I will give you results.
Okay.
Right? If you give me 1 month, we will create a habit. But if you give me 90 days or 3 months, we will create a lifestyle.
Okay.
And that's what my program is about.
I feel that.
Now, did your clients come back to you and report an increase in libido specifically, whether they expected it or not?
Well, here's what's funny. The majority of my clients are female.
Okay.
They tell me that now they're looking for younger men.
They need more stamina.
Younger men.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with being a cougar, a panther, whatever you want.
You know what I'm saying?
So here's the reason why I asked. Because what I noticed is it seemed like, I know they say 35 is like the number, the magic number for most women to just, you know, be like, oh, and, you know, kind of want it more. But I feel like as soon as I crossed the 30 mark, I was like, what is going on right now? And I feel like ever since then, it's just gotten like my libido's grown more and more and more. So like, if I was to do your program, scared of them. It'll be a good thing. He started looking at me like, if you don't get the hell away from me.
No. I look at it the same way I look at life insurance. Okay. How many times have somebody told you about life insurance before you actually bought it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at it the exact same way. You might not want me now. Okay.
Okay. So is there anything else in particular that you would like to share with us in regards to the topic? Because I mean, I'm having fun, but I know we got to wrap it up soon. So
here's what's funny is my wife is 10 years younger than me. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? I wear it with a badge. And here's what's funny. She's the girl I've always wanted.
Aw.
How many times can a guy actually say that? That they got the girl that they actually wanted. And then when I got her, the doctor told me I was diabetic. And all the complications and all the problems and all this stuff was coming on. And so I'm looking at it as, oh my God, I can't believe that, God has forsaken me. But God is not a God that will forsake you. God is a God that will actually help your life. And I didn't even know that I needed help. And so he brought her to me at a time that she needed exactly what I had to offer, and I needed exactly what she had to offer. And in the process of us coming together, the thing that I noticed is none of the guys that she was with has ever gave her an orgasm.
That was my 20s.
That'll seal it.
And you
that will seal it.
And being that I'm 10 years older than her, she thinks that I'm just this wonderful, amazing lover. But she doesn't realize that what she's done to me is that she sparked something inside of me that makes me want her. Because I used to think that that thing between your legs is what I was most attracted to. And I would always say that I'm going to make her have an orgasm. For the first time in my life, for the first time in my life, I have given my wife an orgasm orally, in her little sugar box. But the greatest orgasm that I ever gave her was the one between her ears, where I am telling her what I'm going to do, and then I actually do it. And that right there keeps the coochie wet all day.
It does. Come on, amen.
Yes.
Desert be Lord.
I was gonna say you do that both inside and outside the bedroom, correct?
Absolutely.
and that's my setup for if there's men watching this, if you did your part to get her to the finish line, you got to make sure you got to be there to greet her.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Make sure you're there when she gets to the finish line.
Yes.
Because if you're doing all this talking, you selling all them wolf cookies, and then when it's time to throw down, you coming with some overcooked noodles.
I love it. I love it. Listen.
Either that or a Hot Pocket. Jesus.
Okay, so I think that's a good place for us to wrap it up, right? Yeah, listen, you are welcome to come back and hang with us anytime.
Yes,
some sort of spin-off, to this episode, just ending and on like that note right there, because that's funny, but that's very true. All facts, big facts.
Chef Terry, can you tell our audience how to reach you?
Yes.
Well, the easiest way to reach me is you can follow me. I started this new Facebook group. It's called Beating Diabetes Together. And of course, I'm on TikTok under Chef TLC 01. And you can follow me on these two areas, or you can always send me an email. You can reach me at Chef TLC, as in tender loving care, but that's my initials. Chef TLC at hotmail.com, and let me know, because I guarantee you the society has made it to where they have lied to us for so long about the foods that we're supposed to eat, about the diet we're supposed to be on, about the health that we're supposed to have, and the portion sizes that we're supposed to eat. And now they're trying to backpedal and say, oh yeah, we're overeating. We're going to have to stop eating less. We're going to have to, all this stuff that we have been preaching to people for years. Now they're telling us that it's almost like mandatory, because food is now eating us. Isn't that crazy? It's not even about what you're eating. Food is eating us.
Right.
Yeah. I also feel like the doctors are so scripted in it at this point. Like I go in, and I'm looking at some of these doctors and nurses and I'm like, y'all look like y'all been taking the medications that you're trying to give me and not eating the foods that you're telling me to eat. And but you're in the health field. So there's that.
When I saw a doctor smoking cigarettes one time, I was like, yeah, you're not my person.
Yeah. But don't smoke weed though. That's a whole nother topic. Okay, well, as always,
I'm sorry, I hear that.
As always, we appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Thank you again, Chef Terry, for being with us. This was a great episode. Had a lot of fun, and I'm pretty sure there will be lots of conversation afterwards. Always remember you can join us in the Facebook group for Freaky Girls Podcast to continue the conversation, or you can email us if you have questions. info@forfreakygirlspodcast.com. Ladies, anything else you want to add?
I'm good. Thank you, Chef Terry.
No, thank you so much. I'm about to hit the gym right after this now.
This was so awesome.
Go give me some beet juice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on. And I'll be happy to come anytime that you ask me to. But just remember, better health leads to better sex. And better sex leads to better health.
Hey,
man.
Hey. All right, Freaky Leaks. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep freaking.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.